Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel AG Motion Designs. In this tutorial video, we will guide you to step by step on how to create an intro animation using Adobe After Effects. Whether you are a beginner or an experienced user, this tutorial is designed to help you enhance your video projects with stunning intro animations. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. So here we are in Adobe After Effects. So let's create a new composition. I'll name it as main animation like this. Width is 1920, height is 180, frame rate I'm going to choose 30-second long, and duration is also 30-second long, and background color we will choose white color and simply hit OK. Then go to choose grid and guide option and hit on title selection. Now I'm going to select my shape tools and I'm going to select ellipse tool. I don't want any stroke, so I'll delete this stroke like this. And for the fill, you can choose any color you want. Right now I'm going to select this purple and mixture of blue color and simply hit OK. And by holding shift, I'm going to create one ellipse. Now select this shape layer, press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. Go to the Align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically. Now press P for position. Select this, create one keyframe, zoom in a little bit. Let's go to around 1 second and we will create another keyframe. Let's go around 1.20 frames and create another keyframe. Now let's go to start and we will change the Y position of this one over here, and if you hit play we will get this kind of stuff. Now at 1.10 frames I'm going to move this again over here. Okay, so if you see this, we will get this kind of animations. Now I'll select this and I'll hit F9. Then I'll go to the graph editor, right click and make sure that you are in edit speed graph. Now select this graph by holding shift. I'll move this handle over here, select this and move this handle over here. So if you play this animation, you will get something like this. Now zoom in a little bit and go to the start. Select this by holding shift, move this handle over here and this handle over here, this handle over here, select this and move this handle over here. So if you play this animation now, we will get this kind of bouncing animation. Now if you see this animation looks a little bit slow, so select all the keyframes and by holding alt, let's move all the keyframes up to 1 second. So if you see, we will get this entire animation within 1 second. Now what we will do, I'll select this shape layer, I'll hit enter and I'll call it as first shape and hit OK. Now select this and hit Ctrl D like this and hit U and select those position keyframes and simply hit delete. Now select this and hit enter and I'll call it as stroke. Okay, and hit OK like this. And now we will delete this fill, we don't want that, and hit OK. Now we need to create one stroke color, so with the help of that I'll go over here and with the help of this picker I'm going to select this color. Okay, and simply hit OK. And let's make the stroke width up to 50 like this. Now let's go around over here and I'll select this and I'll move this over here. Now press S for scaling option, create one keyframe, go somewhere around 1 second and let's increase the size of it. Okay, now after that in search bar I'm going to type stroke, only type ST so you can get this stroke width option. Simply create one keyframe, hit U, go around over here and let's decrease the stroke width. So we will get something like this. Now like this. Now select the stroke width and let's decrease the size at this point. So we will get something like this. Now select those keyframe, hit F9, go to the graph editor, select this graph. By holding shift, I'll move this handle over here, select this and move this handle over here. Okay, so if you see this animation now, we will get something like this. Okay, now let's go over here and instead of stroke width 50 I'm going to make it 10, let's say, so we will get something like this. Yeah, now after that select the stroke and convert it this layer into 3D. Now press R for rotation and we will rotate it on x-axis like this. Okay, so now if you see, we will get this kind of stuff and hit U. And now select this shape layer and hit Ctrl D to duplicate it and bring this at the top, hit enter and let's call it as shape only, but in capital letters, and hit OK. Now hit U and select all the keyframes of position. Now let's go to around 1 second. I'll select this shape layer and I'll move this over here and hit U. Now select this shape layer and change the color of this one to yellow, so we can understand that these are two separate things. Okay, now select this shape layer and let's press S for scaling option, create one keyframe, go to around, let's say, 1.20 frames, and increase the size all up to it should cover the entire composition like this. Okay, so if you see, we will get something like this. Now select those keyframe and hit F9, go to the graph editor, select this graph by holding shift, move this handle over here and move this handle over here like this. So if you see this animation, you will get something like this. Now let's go somewhere around over here, select the shape layer, hit Ctrl D and let's move this over here. Select your selection tool and I'm going to change the color of this one to somewhere around this one. Go few frame forward, select this, hit Ctrl D and let's move this over here. Select this one and choose this darker color. Go few frame forward again like this. Select this one, hit Ctrl D, move this over here and change the color of this one to white. Go few frame forward, select this and hit Ctrl D and move this over here and change the color of this one to black. Okay, so if you see this animation now, we will get something like this. And if you think this is quite taking too much time, so you can simply select them and try to adjust the distance between these ellipses like this. Okay, so if I see this animation now, I'll get something like this. Now I'll select this first layer, I'll hit enter and I'll call it as mask and hit OK. Now I'll create another composition and I'll call it as text animations and hit OK like this. Okay, now press Ctrl Y on your keyboard and choose white background. I am going to choose something like grayish, hit OK and select this and let's do one thing, lock this layer. Now we will select my text like this and let's try to type our text. For the font I'm going to choose Poppins like this and let's delete this fill color and choose white color for the stroke and type your text. I'm going to type motion like this. Select this text, press Ctrl Alt Home to align the attacker point to the center. Go to the align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically. Press S for scaling option and scale it like this. Okay, go to the character menu and let's change the stroke weight to not 0.2 but 0.1. Select the stroke weight, press S and increase the scale somewhere around like this and let's move this over here. Now select this, press P, create one keyframe, go to around, let's say, 2 seconds and move this thing from here to here. So we will get this kind of animation. And select this last keyframe only and hit F9 like this. Okay, and if you want, then you can move this over here also. Okay, so this is how you will get this text animation. Now we have to create some spares, so let's select our ellipse like this. I don't want any stroke, so I'll delete the stroke. And for the fill, I'm going to choose first this color, let's say, and by holding shift, create one ellipse, press Ctrl Alt O, select this, hit Ctrl D, let's move this over here, press S, adjust the scale like this and change the color of this one to this like this. Select this, hit Ctrl D, let's move this over here and increase the size of this one over here. Select this and move this one over here. Select this shape, hit Ctrl D and let's move this over here, press S and let's decrease the size. Okay, and let's make this white like this. Now select all of these shapes and press S, create one keyframe, go to around 1.20 frames, create another keyframe, go to the start and let's make this value 0. Select all the shapes, hit F9, go to the graph editor, select this graph by holding shift, move this handle over here, select this and move this handles over here. So if you hit play, we will get this kind of stuff. And if you think the animation is quite slow, simply move them over here. Okay, now after that I'll move all of them somewhere around 1 second. Go over here and try to adjust the position of them like this. Now select all of these shape layers, go to the effect and presets panel and I'm going to apply wiggle position effect on it. and I'll increase the wiggle, not gonna increase, I'll keep it as it is, like this. So I'll get something like this. Okay, so we will get this kind of stuff. Then this, if you want, then you can move this over here also. Now we will do one thing. We will go to our main animation. We will hit Ctrl 0 to open our project window. I'll select this text animation comp and I'll move this over here like this. And I'll select this text animation. I'll press F4 on my keyboard and I'm going to choose alpha mask like this. And I'm going to move all of them. This composition should be over here like this. Okay, so I'll get this kind of animation. So if I see this animation from start, I'll get this kind of stuff. Okay, so our basic animation is done. Now over here we will try to add some extra elements over here. So let's do one thing. Go to the shapes and we are going to select our star tool, and by holding shift I will select one star. Let's go to the polystar path 1, and we will decrease the points up to 3, so we will get this kind of triangle. Select this, press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. Press R for rotation and rotate it on 90 degree. Now go to the effect and presets, go to the align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically. Press S for scaling option and scale it like this. Select this, hit Ctrl D again, press R for rotation, and let's make this -90. Okay, now zoom in a little bit, go somewhere around over here, select all of them and let's move this over here, and let's go somewhere around over here like this. Press P for position, create one keyframe, go few frame forwards, select this, press V, let's move this over here like this, and select this and let's move this over here. Okay, so we will get something like this. Now select those keyframe and hit F9 like this. Okay, go to the effect position speed graph, select this, by holding shift move this handle over here, select this and move this handle over here. So if you hit play now, we will get this kind of animation like this. Okay, now I'll select these two shape layers and I'll press Ctrl Shift C and I'll name it as arrows and hit OK, hold Alt, open bracket, cut it out. Now select this, hit Ctrl D, press S and let's make this 90 like this. Press P for position and let's bring this upward over here. Okay, like this. Now select this, hit Ctrl D, press S, let's make this 80. Press P for position and let's move this over here. Select this, hit Ctrl D, press P for position, not position but scale, and let's make this 70. Then press P and let's move this over here. Okay, again select this, hit Ctrl D, press S for position, let's make this scale 60. Press P and we will move this over here. Again hit Ctrl D, press S, let's make this 50. Press P and bring this over here. So basically we will try to create one type of rectangle. Select this, hit Ctrl D, press S, let's make this 40. Press P, move this over here, hit Ctrl D, S, let's make this 30. Press P and try to move this over here. Hit Ctrl D, press S, let's make this 20. Press P and try to move this over here. So now if you see this animation, we will get something like this. But in this animation, what we are going to do, we will go inside this arrow. I'll press Ctrl K and I'm going to make this black. Hit OK and hit OK. Now select this, hit U, go to the start, press S for scaling option, create one keyframe, hit U, and at this point I'm going to make it 0. So now if I see this, I'll get this kind of animation. So if you see this animation over here, we will get something like this. Now what we want over here, I'll hit page down button 1 times, I'll select this, move this over here. Again page down button 1 times, select this, move this over here. So we will do this procedure again and again and again. So each and everyone is going to animate one by one like this. So if I see this, I'll get this kind of stuff. Now select all of them and go to the start. I'll press Ctrl Shift C and I'll call it as arrow, sorry, arrow comp, and hit OK. Hold Alt, open bracket. So we'll get something like this. Now hit Ctrl D, press S, unlink this, and let's make it -100. So now we will get the stuff over here also, like this. So if we see this animation from the start, I'll get this and then this. Okay. So after that we need to animate our text. You can add even your logo over here. I'm going to add normal text, so let's try motion graphic text only. I'll select this and add motion, and this time select fill for your text. So I'll select white color for this, like this. Let's decrease the distance between this, or we will also change the font. I'm going to choose Oswald font, let's say, like this, and let's choose medium version of it and hit Ctrl D to duplicate it. Press V and let's move this over here and let's type another text, graphics. Select this and this, and I'll adjust it over here like this. I'll select this one and I'm going to choose, let's say, right version, or even let's send that. Okay, or instead of that, select this one and choose the extra light version for this, and select this one, and I'm going to choose this color for this, or something like little bit neonic color. Okay, so this looks cool to me. Now select both of them and try to adjust their position properly. Let's see, try to select this color and let's see. No, this looks, I think this color looks good. Now we will try to animate that, but we will try to animate that with the help of mask. So I'll create two rectangle. I'll create one mask for this text. Press Ctrl Alt O. Let's try to adjust the position properly. Then I'll select my rectangle and I'll create one mask for this text, like this. Okay, so this mask is for motion text, so I'll bring this in front of motion, and this one for the graphics. Select press F4, make this alpha mask. Select this one, make this alpha mask, and this animation should start to appear over here. So I'll select both of them and I'll move this over here. Select both the text, press P for position, create one keyframe, go to around 1.10 frames, create another keyframe, go to the start, select this motion text, move this out of this comp, select this graphics, move this out of this comp, and select both the keyframes, hit F9, go to the graph editor, select this graph. By holding shift, move this handle over here, select this and move this handle over here, like this. Okay, so now go to the text animation. We will get this kind of stuff, and if you want, you can let's suppose I want this thing should start to animate at this point only, so I'll select both of them and I'll move them over here, sorry, and then I'll select this graph, let's say this graphics text, and I'll move this over here so it will animate this later. Okay, so I'll get this kind of stuff. Now I'll select both of this all the four layers. I'll press Ctrl Shift C and I'll call it as text only, and now I'll go to the effect and presets panel and I'll search for transform effect, and I'll add skew to it, and let's make the skew axis to around, let's say, 90, and let's increase the skew like this, and select this text, go to the effect and presets panel and search for drop shadow effect, increase the distance and also increase the softness like this, and select all of the shape layers. Select any one layer, and let's go to the effect and presets panel and apply glow effect on it. Increase the glow radius and glow threshold also, like this. Let's make the glow radius 200, glow intensity 0.5, Now select this glow radius, hit Ctrl C, select all the shape layers and hit Ctrl V. If you want, then you can apply that glow to this text also, but then remove this drop shadow, we don't need that. Okay, and press Ctrl Y to create one solid background and choose white color over here and bring this downwards. Okay, so this is how you can create this kind of title animations inside of After Effects. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial, and if you like this tutorial, then please consider to subscribe this channel and also hit the bell icon to get more updates. And if you want to create some more interesting animations like this, then check out these two videos. I'll see you in my next video. Until then, stay tuned.